When you're in an affair, you feel like you've met the love of your life, and you forget any feelings that you've had for your spouse. It's incredible the self-manipulation that happens in an affair, especially those that have emotional bonds and connections on top of or accompanied with physical. Humans' ability to self-manipulate is incredible. We tell ourselves that not only have we met the love of our life and that they're somehow going to complete us and make our lives better, which no person can do that, we also convince ourselves that there was no love in our actual partnership, that they weren't that great, that there was never really true love feelings, and that our relationship is worse than it really actually is. It's how we justify what we do. We rationalize we should be able to be happy and feel good and have this joy moment because our spouse XYZ. And these things usually are not that big of a deal. So we just make them far worse on ourselves because we have to justify what we're doing. We erase our own history with our spouse, making it worse than it actually is. And then on top of that, we convince ourselves that we will never have joy with our current spouse, that we will never have feelings or be attracted to them. So not only do we manipulate ourselves into thinking that it was way worse than it actually was, we now convince ourselves that we can never get back to even an ounce of what we used to have. This is very typical of addictions. Because affairs are way more along the line of an addiction than anything else, you want to be in your feel-good drug. And anything that inserts themselves into that spot and tries to get you to stop your drug, you are angry at. They become your enemy. This is why people who are in an affair usually lose friendships, family, all these things, because the people who are calling them out, they cut off. Because in their head, how dare they? Just like a drug addict has to cut off their family, or the family has to cut them off. Now, a lot of times people will enable this behavior just because they want to stay in contact with them. That's not healthy either. So, if you're in an affair and you've uttered the words, "I no longer love my spouse, I never had feelings for my spouse," anything like that, take a deep, long look. Really, honestly ask yourself these questions if it's really true, because chances are it really isn't as bad as you're thinking it is. It's you justifying what you're doing.